What's that? What? No, man, I'm not responsible enough for that. Dude, so I play like NES emulators. Oh, sure, sure. Yeah, like I have an old one. Like I have my Nintendo from like my childhood. For sure. That's right. That is right. Nice. Yo. Yeah, ham slammer comply. I'm leaving Friday actually. Gonna leave Friday. Yeah, buddy. Uh-oh. Well, I can hear you.
What about now? What about now? What about now? What about now? Oh, it's going to give me the. Is it going to give me the echo again? I think it's going to give me the echo again. It's all good. I did this last time. We did this Sunday Mario Kart thing. And shout out to Peter for Genus. Genus Peter for taking it down. But damn, I've got an echo on my headset. But worser things have happened in life. Let us know what you're drinking tonight. And if anybody has any questions at any point of the stream, put them in the chat. Someone will get to you if me and Kyle are lost in the moment, getting lost in each other's eyes, man. What's up, everybody, though? Blackwood Brews, man. Greg Cowbell Beer Co. Right on. We'll give it a couple more minutes. We're starting a little bit early tonight, but Kyle and I are both on the same time zones. What's going on, Kyle?
Yeah, bud. Not much, man. Not much. Just hanging out, getting ready to pour a beverage.
What are you drinking? What are you going to be drinking?
I don't. That's a good question, actually. That's a really good question.
Do you still have some
I
of
just
the
do
apartment
like.
brewer for life?
I do. Yeah, I might do like. I had some of that earlier today. I might do a
Nice.
little black lager.
There you go. The
Little
same one
black
that I
lager
had?
action. Yeah. Somehow this has lasted. I really don't know how. It's like the magical bottomless keg, which I'm sure is going to kick right now, but we'll find out.
Yeah, if you get one out of it, man. What up, Larry Ryba? What up, Trevor? What up, Patrick Sandy? G60, man. What makes a heft taste thin? I have no idea what that means. Monkey shoulder for me tonight. Right on, Larry. Cheers, Barrage. Come here. What up, Walt Longmire? Broad Forja. Petey McEnroe chilling at work. So now brews tonight. I think he meant no brews tonight, man. So we're chilling, man, and I think I have a BrewCon update, Kyle. No joke.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sure. Let's hear it, man.
So I was hanging out with the GM from Yeehaw. I think Yeehaw is a Nashville or Johnson City brewery. You've had to have
Okay.
heard of it.
Well, I mean, so I know they're in Johnson City. So I was surprised recently when you told me that they were in Knoxville.
They got a big one
I didn't know
opening
that
up.
was I didn't know it was a big brewery.
The the one that they're opening up right down the street from me, Yeehaw Brewing, they're having like
Yeah.
an outdoor amphitheater. And the Knoxvillians are kind of pissed off because that's just not their style. It's just kind of a lot.
Okay.
It's a lot of mom and pop out here. But the
Yeah.
GM is a guy that everybody likes. He's a big ambassador. He's one of the nicest guys ever. I posted a picture of me and him on Instagram.
I saw that.
He's
Yeah.
on the right.
That's
So
cool.
that's the GM of Yeehaw.
Okay.
He's probably a couple years older than me, maybe pushing 40. But they're going to be opening
22, 23.
What's up?
He's 22, 23. Something
Yeah,
like that.
he graduated in
Couple years older than you.
2018. Yeah, he graduated in
Yeah.
2018 with me as well. But they'll be open in about September. And
Okay.
I hung out with a dude on Monday. He runs a little small kind of coffee shop brewery, but he does this internet thing and he puts it on the radio. And we're talking about promoting and we're going to get together and we actually might do the actual BrewCon thing because I don't know what your feedback was from Homebrewcon, but I heard this year not a lot of people showed up, but I heard it's been on a serious decline in attendance over the last 5 years. You catch that?
Oh, okay. I don't really know much about it, man. I've never been able to attend. I'm usually doing something else that week. It's always like in June,
Yeah.
middle of June every year. Yeah, but is
Especially
that the
with
word?
COVID.
Yeah, that's the word. It wasn't very well attended.
Yeah, and it's $400.
It ain't cheap, dude.
That's not cheap.
No.
And aside from John Palmer, I don't think anybody really cares. I mean, too many of the guys they have on the panel are people that run brew night class brew school and stuff. And I just don't think anybody cares. I think it'd be a lot
Yeah.
better if we got all the brew tubers together and, I don't know, put up a flag in Knoxville, and it's obviously free. I talked to some of these guys. Hey, can we just host it? And we'll just spend whatever at the bar, and we'll bring in a bunch of people here. There's no $400 thing. There's no Vax card. I know that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Larry posted about that, which was probably not the smartest thing to do. But no, it's just more laxed. And I think that Knoxville's a good one because people can drive here. You know, Knoxville, Asheville in the south, just driving 4 hours in any direction, you could hit a lot of cities. So it's not like San Diego where you just have LA and then Mexico and then there's nothing until you get to Arizona. Even though San Diego's a pretty big hub. Yeah. What up, Todd Porter? What up, Jake M? BarrageCon. Drinking water.
Yeah, I mean,
what's up?
Yeah, like, why would you attend the Homebrewcon? You're there to see people, or you're there to, they have like seminars, or you're there to look at equipment. I mean, Panels. What's the deal,
That's a good question. I would rather go to one of these things to see the people that I know, because it's not like Hollywood. I don't care at all that these guys have a Cicerone or a sommelier license, or they've been studying beer for 30 years. That's cool. But I don't want to feel like I'm in a classroom. I want to party. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah.
What up, Brian Hutton? But so that's it. We got the BarrageCon update. I think it's going to happen September, October-ish. That'd be cool if you guys could make it out, Kyle. I know you're busy. But, yeah, it's looking more like, it's not just all talk. And
dude, that would be killer.
Yeah. Other than that, I finally talked to Brewlosophy. We're doing that thing in August. That's cool. And then that's it, man. I've just kind of been watching YouTube videos today. I've watched yours a couple. When did homebrewing become? No. Your video was on the legalities of homebrewing. And it's what, 200 gallons per household or significant other partner?
Yeah.
Domestic partner?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. So if federally, how much beer can you brew per year? I didn't know this. There's a federal statute that limits how much beer you can brew in any given year as a home brewer. And it's 200 gallons per year. No, sorry. It's 100 gallons per year per adult in a household. If there are 2 adults, you can brew another 100 gallons. So I think you cap out at 200 gallons though per household in a year. And yeah, the question was, did Martin with the Homebrew Challenge exceed 200 gallons? If he would have done 5-gallon batches for all his beers, he would have. It's not like the federales, like come pound your door down, because no one's gonna know that you brewed that much beer. But it was just an interesting thought experiment. Though, like looking into this, when I was kind of doing some research for it, I looked at a lot of the state laws as well. There's a lot of good summary pages on the web with all the state laws, and there are some weird laws out there. Like I had, for a minute in that video, I had some stuff that I cut at the last minute, but there were some weird laws. Like some of the states, you can't brew over like 60 gallons a year, right? So that's like 6 10-gallon batches.
Right.
In another state, you can't, like if you give away your homebrew, you're limited to 72 ounces. So you can't give away more than a 6-pack to one individual.
I don't think you can really get in trouble. It'd be tough unless you're sliding into the local sheriff's wife's DMs, but it would be very difficult for someone to call you out. But I was reading about that because it is different state by state. It always comes down to Utah, Pennsylvania, or the Bible Belt states. Those are the states that always are like the 20% that are different from the rest of the nation.
Yeah, I'm thinking Utah or something like that. That might have been the state where you couldn't give away more than a 6 pack.
Which is
Um,
ironic because it's the one state where you can have 8 wives. So legally, you could be doing like 1,200 gallons of beer.
Dude, maybe that is the loophole.
Yeah, it's a loophole, but it's just a weird state. We're always talking about
Yeah,
Utah and beer clubs and wine clubs and the do's and don'ts that
yeah,
ultimately deny people with breweries, distilleries, or wineries avenues of income. What up, Jess?
yeah. A lot of people commented, uh, and they made a lot of people chimed in the comment section about, how it's sort of, I don't know, man. Like the one of the I think the best comment I saw was legalized freedom.
Well,
But
what's weird is that okay, so homebrewing's been legal since 1978.
right.
And it was President Jimmy Carter that made it legal. President Jimmy Carter made it legal in 78, but I was reading Charlie Papazon's book, and he was studying beer and making beer in the 70s, which is still illegal, but probably a tough, red flag. It's tough to get pulled over for homebrew. But why the
Yep.
hell did the president legalize beer? It's just so funny that, what's on your mind? Is it, the border, this, homelessness? He's like, you know what? I just want to legalize beer. Let's just figure
I
this
think
out. First things first. Here we go.
I think
So,
I have an answer for this. I don't know where I read this, but his brother was like really into beer. His brother was a home brewer, and then at some point
yeah, somebody just wrote
he
that.
may have had his own beer brand, but it was called Billy Beer.
Okay.
It's because his brother's name was Billy, and either he made this beer or somebody else made it in his name. It was called Billy Beer. Anyway, the story that I've heard is that his brother was
Excuse me.
like, "Yo, man, now that you're prez, you gotta legalize
First
homebrewing."
things
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
First,
This is what you got to do.
we'll figure out the
Uh,
foreign affairs a little bit later on in the term, but first things first, we're gonna lead off with this whole illegal homebrew stuff because
yeah.
it was illegal since Prohibition, or it was
Yeah.
illegal since 1933.
Yeah, that's nuts. The better question, well,
Crazy.
another good question, like another perplexing thing that I think about is, and then a lot of people mentioned this in that video, was why was beer and wine, homebrew and home winemaking legalized, but home distilling not?
I th-
Because this
I'm
they're
a,
they're the same. They're the same, like people say, well, I mean, you can't distill at home because the government wants its tax money, blah blah blah. Well, I mean, that's the same for beer,
right.
you
Yeah, the government. It's kind of
Um,
weird. They generally don't care whether you live or die. They only really care whether you're making money.
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the crazy thing to me is that, you can't distill at home. And really, I think, and I'm not positive, but if this isn't correct, it's close to correct. There is only one country in the world where you can distill your own spirits at home, and that's New Zealand,
AKA
I
Jesse,
believe.
and
Yeah.
coming out of the woodwork. We talked about this on Sunday a little bit. There wasn't too many people here, but Jesse's coming out. He's staying at Clawhammer. I'm going to be showing up
Yeah,
that weekend, and that'll be the last three-way collab in the
yeah, man. Jesse from
existence.
Still It, Chase the Craft
Chase the
YouTube
craft.
channel.
Yeah, I wrote him.
Super cool, dude.
We got the thread going on WhatsApp, and I hit him up to come on next week. He said he was up for it. He didn't confirm though for next
Yeah.
week because that'd be cool because I'm going to San Diego for 10 days after that.
Yeah.
But that'd be a good one. Did you reach out to
Yeah.
Jesse? You guys known each other for a little bit?
So, man, Jesse
Still
and
it.
Emmett and I have known each other for a long time, like really long time. It's been years. I can't remember how, we started talking, but it was really just because, well, this dude's in New Zealand distilling. He can distill legally, and yeah, we've been shooting messages back and forth, emails. We've Skyped a number of times over the years for a
Nice.
long, long time. He has some of our equipment. He uses it sometimes. He tends to like get into bigger stuff, and we kind of kept our stuff at, you know. But yeah, man, he's a cool dude. Cool dude to know. Does
He
really cool
is.
stuff. Super excited to hang out with him. Yeah, and like, dude, so awesome that he lives in New Zealand where you can distill legally. Meanwhile, here in the United States, in the back in the dark ages, man, this is a crazy, crazy story. Like not too long ago, within the last year, um, somebody who had one of our stills but wasn't using it to actually like make whiskey. This is a really weird situation. Was like buying Everclear from the grocery store and like macerating it, right? So
What does
they
that
were
mean?
adding
Macerating?
fruit to it,
Okay.
aging it with fruit on it, and then reselling it. Okay, so what they had done was they had created this Facebook page, and the still that they had bought from us, which they had never even set up, they were using it like basically as like marketing material, just like as a something to put in pictures, right?
Yeah.
But the dude was buying stuff. So he has this Facebook page and he's like very public about what he's doing. Like he's selling his own like homemade spirits, but the guy, normally you wouldn't like advertise that because like, that's not legal. You can't
It's a
make your own
red
spirits at
flag in
home. You
America.
sure as hell can't sell it. Well, this dude was like, well, I mean, I'm just buying it from the grocery store and I'm not even using this still. So he didn't think anything of it.
Gets swatted.
Well,
FBI. Come
yeah, he
on
did.
down. Is that what
Yeah,
happened?
man. The Maryland ABC caught wind of it, and they rolled on him, and I assume he got arrested. I don't know. I mean, he was. They
That's
reached out to us and were
Oh,
asking us
really?
some questions about it. Yeah, we're like,
Where'd he,
we
where'd
don't
he
know
get his
this. We don't
shit?
know this guy. Yeah, I don't know this guy. And the dude was like that guy I talked to is pretty cool. He was like, well, I mean, here's the thing. He was actually just buying like Everclear from the store and then like doing what's called maceration and selling it. But you can't do that in Maryland. That's actually illegal. And dude got charged with crimes for doing that.
Felonies. It's weird. I don't know. I don't
That's
understand.
crazy.
It's crazy, and I don't get it. I mean, it's so easy to
Yeah.
get a gun. It's so easy to get drugs now. Everything's legal, but they take distilling. It's like it's old school cutthroat, Wild Wild West mentality, like reefer madness, felony. I mean, can you do
Yeah.
prison time for distilling? Not selling it, but if you just have,
Yeah.
if
you
you're just
could.
doing moonshine, can you actually do some time?
Oh yeah, definitely you could. Yeah. So not yeah, you could. I mean, so that's a thing that like honestly, I don't think that's actually regulated by the federal government anymore. Like there certainly are laws on the books regarding home distilling, and according to federal statutes, you are not allowed to distill your own spirits at home, period. And you run a risk of being charged with federal crimes for that, and that couldn't include jail time, depending on like what you were doing and how serious it was. But to my knowledge, that action is entirely regulated by the TTB at this point, which is the Trade and Tax Bureau, which they don't have like it used to be regulated by the ATF, right? And so the ATF has like foot soldiers, guys who will go out and knock on doors and stuff. To my knowledge, the TTB like they have their hands full with like actual legit legal operations, and they leave the regulation of distilling up to the states. And the laws vary by state. And in some states, like Colorado, for example, there are virtually no laws on distilling, at least fuel alcohol. I think Missouri is a state that has no laws on distilling, period. Right? So, you wouldn't really run at risk of a law there, breaking a law there, distilling. But virtually every other state does, including North Carolina. You can't even have a still here without some sort of a permit.
And it's all dating back to these all the same laws, the consequences from prohibition, or did it get worse? Did some politician's kid distill and he went blind or burned his eyebrows off, and then they became more stringent, or has it always been this way?
My understanding is that it's all stemmed from prohibition. Yeah. So
Old school, man, which
yeah,
is
I mean,
so crazy. Like,
yeah. So
I understand back in the day in the 50s, if you got busted with a joint in Texas, you went to jail for 2 weeks. But that day is dead. That day is beyond dead in every state. I thought
yeah.
coming out to Tennessee, marijuana was like doing time. It's pretty much how it is in California. It's just like, hey, just, there's dispensaries. Don't walk around smoking weed in front of cops. Don't
Yeah.
be in a car hotboxing it, but you can buy weed out here. So, I have insomnia, whatever. I need a special needs dog to sleep at night. They get you a card to go to the dispensary,
Hmm.
but distilling is still old school.
Yeah, dude, that's a weird thing. That's one of the weird things about our modern world that weed,
Everything's
for
lightened up.
example, yeah, they're loosening up there, but in as far as like home distillation of alcohol goes, there has been no change. And there have been lobbying groups that have been around in the recent past, who have tried to get stuff done. In fact, at one point, this was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, there was a provision in a craft beer tax bill that would like loosen up the federal standard statutes regarding home distilling, and it looked like it was going to pass, and the very last minute they yanked it out.
Crazy. Check out
Yeah.
who's commenting right now. Is that your boy? Is that Lawson's Creek in there in the comment section?
Dawson's Creek theme song.
Dawson's Creek theme song. That's funny. I got a question for you. I want to get a bottle opener. This isn't a question I got earlier in the week. This is something I generally want to know about Asheville. But
Yeah.
will you talk to the chat for 2 seconds while I run and get a
Yeah.
lighter or some
Yeah,
shit?
buddy.
Right back.
Hello, chat. Is that the question you're going to ask me? Talk to the chat. Yes, I can. What's going on, chat? Let's see here. Kyle, have you been to Whistle Hop and Tortuga in Fairview? No, I've not.
Loggers
I've not
and
been down
salt.
there.
Loggers and
bud.
salt. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Well, here's a pre-question. You don't hear the echo on your end? I sound good to you?
I don't hear an echo at all. No.
Okay, I'll figure this
But
out.
I'm not listening to the YouTube version of it.
They're okay because they would let me know in the comment section.
Oh, got it.
They're like the Baba Boy producers, the organic Baba Boy. But I had a question. I was thinking about this because I'm making a video on my favorite beer cities. I
Yeah.
want to do like a top 5 or top 10. And I was thinking, do breweries in Asheville go out of business? Asterisk with COVID, everybody kind of fought to stay alive. But like even before that, are they all pretty successful?
Let me think about this.
Do you know of like
yes.
a big one that's gone out?
As far as breweries go, I don't actually know of a single brewery that went out of business in 2020.
That's awesome.
Period. Yeah, no.
Even with
And
COVID.
in like Buncombe County was actually, we had some restrictions here for sure. So, city of Asheville, definitely. But yeah, man, I don't know. I think, this is a story I heard, and I don't, this is like somewhat conjecture because I'm not, familiar with all the details. But my understanding was that some of the bigger breweries in the state petitioned the state legislature, the governor, I don't know who it was, to allow them to ship beer and deliver beer during 2020. Previously, they weren't allowed to do that. And the argument was, hey man, we're going to go out of business. Like we have a business that's dependent on people coming in and drinking at our place. They can't come here. So what they were doing was like Emmett actually had signed up for burial delivery service, and they'd just drop off a 6-pack or some bottles or whatever once every other week or so. Yeah.
Which is
But
still
yeah, I don't know
tough.
any. I don't know any.
It's still
How about
tough.
San Diego?
A lot.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot in I've heard of a lot, not a lot, but I've heard that happened in Knoxville too, which is kind of surprising to me because Tennessee people don't really like being told what to do, especially in compared to where
Tennessee?
yeah. But it was a weird sell. The thing about California, the thing about San Diego is that breweries are still opening all of the time. They're not opening all of the time in Knoxville. It's a big deal with Yeehaw coming in. And one thing I forgot to mention before, Smoky Moonshine, the brand that's on everything, that's the same CEO as Yeehaw. That's
You're kidding me.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's Joe Baker. He's like
Dude.
44. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You know the
Have
guy?
you ever been to Gatlinburg?
No, but I've driven through it going to your house to Asheville, and
Yeah.
there's billboards with Smoky Moonshine on every billboard.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
So
it's that and Ripley's Believe It or Not.
if I were to
Zach Pearson, what's up?
so like if you look at the Old Smoky website, and so this is my extent of the knowledge about the extent of my knowledge about Old Smoky is what you can read on their website. I don't really know much about them,
And they're huge
but
to
they
anybody
just
who
like
doesn't know.
they kind of have like a little fluffy story on there about the founder had some like sort of family recipe, and it's like, okay, did he really though? And they didn't really provide much detail, and
MJP,
you look at the guy and you're
MJP,
like, I don't know if I MGP if I
MGP. Yeah,
you
I
look at
don't
the guy, I'm
know.
like, I don't know if I believe this, but here's what I know
Hey,
about Old Smoky Moonshine. That business, it absolutely they crush at what they do, man. Like their facility in downtown Knoxville is just absolutely incredible. If the people who are into them are like into them hard. Um, you go there, you do a couple samples, and then you get in a line of like 30 or 40 people who all have uh
you killed that. Sorry.
10 jars of unaged whiskey in their hands that they're trying to buy on the way out the door. I mean, they crush it.
And it's
If I
pretty
were to
affordable, right? It's $20
I
for like
can't,
that, and they got the mason jar look, so you feel like you're
yeah.
actually drinking it. So
Uh-huh, yeah.
yeah.
If I were to, meet a business person, if someone were to say like, "Hey, you can meet any business person in your industry," that might be somebody that I'd like to talk to. I just like to know what is the story
Well,
behind that place. Like that's just really interesting.
I'll tell you what,
That's interesting.
I'm becoming pretty buddy buddy with Charles, their GM. He's my neighbor. He's the guy who was in the picture with me on Instagram. We've been hanging
Gotcha.
out. So he was the dude I told you. Really quick, I got a super chat from Brandon Chamberlain, man. Much love, man. First one of the night. You're the man. And we got 75 people in here right now. Brandon's
Yeah,
always
buddy.
showing love. That was the dude while I was at my dive bar like 2 weeks ago. And him and his buddy were looking over, and it was just the three of us there. And he's like, "Are you the guy from YouTube?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Come over here." And we just started hitting it off. And they were watching what it was our video. I think it was your video, the West Coast IPA.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, so he knew who you were. So maybe I've only hung out with
This is
Charles.
the GM, you
This is
said.
the GM.
Yeah.
He's like 3 steps down from Joe Baker, the owner of all this. Yeehaw and Smoky, what's it called? Smoky Moonshine? Smoky Mountain Moonshine?
Old
Old
Smoky.
Smoky,
Yeah.
yeah. So Kyle talked about this last time, so I'm sure we could talk about it right now. You're kind of in motion to open up your own. Well, I'll let you go.
No, distillery. I mean, first of all, yeah, I think maybe we talked about opening a brewery. No way in hell I would ever open up a brewery.
I remember
Dude,
that
I had
part.
a
Yeah.
brew day from hell
What up,
today.
Brewing Bad?
Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. But
That's why I
yeah,
quit
like
brewing.
distilling, man. What's that?
That's why I quit brewing. I'm a retired
You-
poser for life. I'm the
Just
new
talk about
Josh Weissman. We'll talk about that in a second. I'm Josh Weissman 2.0. I'm sorry. So you had a shitty brew day. So last time we talked about this, you said last time Kyle was on, we did one of the few sober hoppy hours, but you were saying that distilling is way more forgiving than home brewing.
Yeah.
No
So
doubt.
if I were to ever open up some sort of a beverage, factory or whatever, I would go the distilling route over brewing because if you brew, if you screw up a batch of beer, like you're done, man. You're done. Like you're not gonna, there are a lot of some defects you can fix, but there are a lot of defects that you can't. You're just gonna dump that down the drain. However, if you are a distiller, I mean, so there's a reason why, Tennessee whiskey is made. It's like sour mash whiskey. They literally are like essentially making sour beer,
Can
and
you always
it's called like
salvage it? Can you always come back from distilling?
I
Do you
believe
ever?
so. I mean,
Okay.
I haven't like tested.
The
Um,
products that you sell. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
yeah.
But it looks like
I'm
if
just
you're
gonna
just extracting all the
say,
alcohol out of it, you kind of have like a clean slate. But again, I've never distilled.
yeah. I mean, they're gonna be. Here's the thing. This is the thing about distilling. Like, it's magic, dude. It's like it's science, but it's also magic. It's you. So what you're doing when you're distilling is you're taking the chemical compounds that are in like essentially this beer, and you are separating them out into these different components. They're individual components, right? So for essentially what you're doing is you're trying to take all the alcohol and like stuff that's similar to alcohol in its chemical composition and get it out, and you're leaving all the water behind. And what you do, the process for doing that is basically it's just like you're taking advantage of the fact that ethanol has a much
Back
lower
off, my
boiling
child, seriously.
temperature than or alcohol has a much lower boiling temperature than water does. But within that spectrum of like ethanol isn't the only thing that comes out when you distill. There's all these different sorts of there are all these different alcohol types and chemical components that come out at different times. So like acid, like acetyl alcohol, right, will
Is that the
come
one that
out.
makes you blind?
That's methanol. So like the very first thing that comes out, and by the way, like in almost like in all alcohol, beer, wine, there's methanol. There's a little bit of methanol in everything, right? So
Okay.
like I'm drinking a tiny little bit of methanol with this beer. The risk with distilling is that you pull all of the ethanol out at
It's
once because it
concentrated.
has the lowest boiling temperature of all of the stuff that you're pulling out, right? So all of the first stuff that comes out of a still, right? If there's a lot of methanol or a significant quantity of methanol, like all of that's going to come out in one at once, right? So like not at the same time, but just over the first in the first, X amount of minutes of the distillation run. So if you're doing a really big run, conceivably you could pour out a whole pint of methanol before the ethanol and other stuff comes out. And if you were to drink just a full pint of methanol, that's gonna mess you up. Like that could kill somebody.
That's probably why
Um,
it's illegal.
so it's possible.
Jorge
But here's
Castro.
the thing, like, to produce a significant quantity of methanol, like enough methanol to probably really hurt somebody, you would have to be doing a really large run,
No.
right? Because if you were to like distill all of the methanol out of a single beer, right? You could just go ahead and drink it. It wouldn't matter because it's such a tiny little bit.
It's
But if
diluted.
you're doing like 1,000 gallon still run, like batch, that could potentially produce a lot of methanol at the front end of that run. So, um, yeah, I mean, I think, going back to the legality thing, if distilling was legalized, but it was just capped at a certain like still size,
5 gallon
that would
batch
be
or
a
that.
pretty
Yeah.
easy way, like a 10-gallon still, man. Like that'd be a pretty easy way to, allow people to experiment and then keep them safe. But getting back to what we were just kind of where we were headed was, you can, there's a sweet spot in the middle of a distillation run, where it's just like all ethanol, right? So like the lighter alcohol, the methanol, and the other like stuff that would taste nasty, it smells nasty, you don't want to drink it, it's gonna make you feel bad and have a hangover. That stuff comes out first. Then you have this big sweet spot in the middle of the run, all just ethanol, and it tastes good, it smells good, it's really rich, it's a ton of a great aroma. Um, and then you move on to like the tail end of the run, and it's like a lot of the oils come out, it kind of gets thin, you can drink that stuff but it's not as good. So that's I think that's probably why distilling is more forgiving than brewing is, because even if you end up with a bad batch, like that stuff is probably more likely to come out on the front end or the back end of the run. And then here's what you're going to do, man. You're just going to toss that into a barrel and age it for a year anyway, probably. Or you're going to mask it with a bunch of sugar and crap, like cherry, I don't know, red food coloring and cherries at like old Smoky Moonshine. I don't know. So I think it'd be way easier as a business, production wise, it'd be safer,
Well, where are you
like
at?
less.
How far are you? How big's your pot commitment right now?
Where am I at with like opening a distillery?
Yeah, because you were talking about last time there was a place that went under, right? You could get in there for cheaper,
Yeah, right. So yeah, there was a
which is kind
distillery
of
that.
becoming a common theme with a lot of breweries, even in San Diego. It's just that, places go out and these, or whether, distilleries, wineries, or breweries, and it's kind
Mm,
of this move where you come in, The permit's there. The ground is all chopped up. The sewers are there. And you can revive an establishment with a new brand.
Right. Yeah. The distillery in Raleigh, I mean, it would have only made sense to me if they were like just banging, and if like they had mapped out online sales and shipping, and they hadn't, and it looked like that was just going to be prohibitive. Shipping from North Carolina, shipping spirits wasn't going to be possible at all. So, yeah, like that was
We lost you, Kyle. You're cutting out, man. Well, we got 80 people here, too. We can't hear you.
what happened? What's going on?
Oh, there it
You
is.
can't hear.
Okay. No, you're good.
Back?
It just might be a bandwidth thing. You're good, though.
Okay, as far as
Easton Zebraj. What up, Braj? Jeff Curtis.
as far as like in Johnson City, is like that's something.
We lost you again. Can you
Do
hear
you
me?
think it's my mic or my computer?
Well, I hear you good now.
We good?
You're good now. Sorry. We're 35
Okay.
minutes into, Kyle. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. So you got to be out of here at like 9:30? No, 10 o'clock.
10:30.
10:30. All right, we got another hour,
Yeah.
man. Cheers, everybody.
10.
This is most people
Yeah,
we've
man,
had in here in a while.
I hired a lawyer to like. The time it wasn't possible because Johnson City, the city itself, had like a prohibition on distilling, and then they like passed a law that said, okay, there's no longer a prohibition on distilling in Johnson City, but they never created any legal mechanisms to actually open a distillery. So although it wasn't illegal to have a commercial distillery there, they hadn't come up with any processes to create a legal distillery. So
Okay.
I don't know, man.
Duly noted.
We got sidetracked. It was taking too long. We're like, all right, let's move on with our lives, and maybe they'll get their stuff together, and we'll revisit that.
Well, I look forward to that. Everybody put that on your radars. We got some people in here tonight. We were just at 80. Dropped down a little bit, man. We got Will here. We got Just Brewing still in the house. How are you, Just? Minnesota Fats. Noam Brewing, what's up, you Braj? And somebody in the chat posted about Smoky Moonshine. They're doing like butter pecan flavors. So I think they're going that whole kind of Smirnoff college girl, make every flavor, cotton candy, strawberry lemonade, just make it as sugary as possible. Because Smirnoff, when they went that route, or if they still go that route, but I remember every girl at every party in college was always bringing like boysenberry cheesecake Smirnoff vodka, so it tasted nothing like vodka, and people got annihilated, and they would actually talk to me. It was cool. USMC Mike, man, thanks for your service, man. Enjoying the show from North Carolina. What's up, Jeff Curtis? Network issue. Yeah, I think I just got to buy more bandwidth on whether that's Discord or Streamlabs, but it does give me an option about latency and stuff like that. But we're here. I can hear him. So that means you guys can hear him. I hope, man. Put a beer in your rear. Daniel Benitez, watching Master Distillers is legit along with your content. Thank you, Daniel. I'm assuming you're talking to both of our channels, both of our contents. But nonetheless, thanks for being here. Zach A. tried some of the cherry version of Old Smoky, and it was undrinkable. It was like liquid Jolly Rancher. That's what I'm talking about. That's what they did with the Smirnoff vodka stuff. It was all just like watermelon cheesecake. It was all just Jolly Rancher, 7-Eleven, sweet, sour. Maybe not sour, but just the sweetest. If there wasn't Smirnoff or vodka on it, it would be like a Mad Dog or like a Boone's Farm. It wouldn't, Smirnoff gives it the credibility, but it sounds like these guys are doing the same. And if you guys are listening right now, Charles or Joe Baker, I still love you. They're not listening. Maybe they are. I don't know. But we shoot from the hips a little bit on this stream. It's a little bit behind the curtain, little locker room talk. But calling a spade. Mad Dog 2020. Yeah. So good luck with that. White Girl College stuff. Kyle, you still with me?
Yeah, man, I'm here. I'm trying to figure out. CH, I was gonna like throw some cash into the Poppy Hour pot.
Nah, you can't do it as a guest, man. Please
Well,
don't
you
do
know
it.
what I can do though. Looks like it's gonna allow me to buy some memberships.
Gnome does that. But We're 40 minutes in.
Done.
Kyle, thank you, man. Damn, dude. 10 memberships.
Dude,
Thank you,
making it
Kyle.
rain, buddy.
This is Kyle. Lynn Schaefer was
Dang.
gifted a membership. So are you picking him out?
No,
Lynn
it's
Schaefer's
just
become a
doing it
member.
automatically.
We've got the
Yeah.
avocado jumping around right now. So are you stoked with the last video? Did it work out? Is there any YouTube blues in that?
Yeah, the one about Martin, but one about Homebrew for the Homebrew challenge.
Homebrew challenge, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I think what Martin did was insane.
too.
199 batches of beer in 98 weeks, dude. That's madness, man.
It is.
There's no way I could do it. I just couldn't do it. So, hats off to Martin, man. I think what he did was crazy, and I have a lot of respect for that. Is brewing legal, just to see if kind of ensure that people would actually watch it, and kind of give it a little bit more. Martin did. It was really cool to see his studio.
Yeah, and Martin's a great dude. You know, he uses your product in every video. He does a good job. He does a great job on having kind of an organic showcase of it. And I think you're right, man. I mean, I can't do what Martin's done. Like in a perfect world with Homebrew for Life content, there'd be 4 videos a month. There'd be a grain to glass, there'd be a travel vlog, there'd be a shitty food video nobody watched, and then some DIY thing. Top 50 tips under 8 minutes, or how to make this, or how to save money. But to make the same grain to glass video, I don't care that he does 2.5 gallon batches. I don't think there's anybody on planet Earth that could actually do that and have a family and have a legitimate job at IBM. There's no way. I couldn't even do that if you gave me $1 million, because I would just get over it and I'd burn out. I really would. But hey, more power, man.
Yeah.
More power.
I mean, dude's a machine. He's just an absolute machine.
He's got phenomenal work ethic. He's got great work ethic. And you know what? He's the man. You know, he's not like this fat, disgusting, stereotypical beer drinking slob. I think for the most part, when you really get into beer, maybe not, but I think most people that drink a lot of beer, you've got to kind of have a balance. And we've talked about getting older and hangovers and just putting on weight from beer. And Martin's like probably the most fit guy, especially for his age, in the whole craft beer, not even the brew tube community, but the craft brewing community. Martin's probably like 160 pounds.
Yeah.
Dude's a machine.
Yeah, he's a fit dude for sure.
More power. Larry Bob, CH is my dad and won't call me. Hey, Kyle, thanks for those memberships, man. I appreciate it. We're almost up to like 100 on that. And shout out to everybody who's here right now. We got 77 people hanging out. So the question I asked Kyle earlier, we were talking about breweries going out of business in Asheville. He said he can't remember one, which is awesome to hear. I got a question earlier in the week, and it's always questions from older videos. But somebody asked me to do a Blue Moon clone. And I think that's probably the most hated beer ever. Or Shock Top. Because it's always the breweries that claim to be microbrewery or craft brewery after Miller Coors or AB InBev has acquired them. And they've always got these dumb commercials where you've got to put orange in it. You got to get this giant wedge of orange in there. And I think that they're like, what is Blue Moon? Is it a Belgian or a blonde or a white blonde? We're cutting out again. Just Brewing, man. Thank you so much, sir. What's a Blue Moon?
Let me look.
Gnome Brewing.
I thought it was a wit.
I'm with Gnome. I'm with a Belgian wheat. It's a Belgian wheat.
Yeah, it's Belgian wheat. Okay, I thought it was that wheat, but yeah, that sounds right, man.
And I think a lot of people hate Shock Top too. From what I remember, Blue Moon is Miller Coors and Shock Top I think is AB InBev. So hell no, I'm not gonna do a Blue Moon clone. I'm not gonna have 5 gallons of a Belgian wheat.
Yeah, man. Uh,
You know, and people shit on
yeah.
me because I drink Coors Light and I drink Budweiser and Modelo and stuff on this stream sometimes just because it's light beer. But like, Budweiser's always been who they've been. They've never, like, it's always been Budweiser. It's always been Coors Light. It's never been like, oh, you got to put this in it or they're trying to do a new thing. It's like, it's just our dad's lawnmower beers. I mean, the only thing that you can kind of rip on Budweiser for, you can rip on Budweiser for a lot of stuff. But remember that Super Bowl commercial they made where they just shit on a bunch of craft beer stereotypes? It's like guys with the Wyatt Herb twirly mustaches, and they're like, go enjoy your peach vanilla latte pumpkin spice ale. Real men drink Budweiser. And then a year
Yeah.
later, they owned Elysian, they owned Goose Island, they owned Golden Road, 10 Barrel, and tons others. So it's like, you guys just shit on craft beer so hard, and then you bought dozens of it. Other than that, you can kiss my ass for that. But other than that, like, Budweiser's just been like Budweiser. And there's always the craft beer guys that are like, oh, you're drinking Budweiser. You got to drink like West Coast IPA, you pussy. Like the whole Stone vibe. But it's like, Budweiser and Coors Light, they're not like the worst beers of all time. They just are what they are. It's just light, cheap lagers that
Yeah.
stem from Czech and German styles.
You know, all right, here's the thing, man.
Well,
I
what
think
do you think the most hated beers? What do you think the most hated beer is out there? Because I'm going to say Blue Moon or
I mean,
shoutout.
you know, I hadn't thought about this, but
Then kiss my ass.
I don't know that I would disagree with that. The most hated beer. Um, Gosh, man. I mean, here. Okay, I'm gonna take this conversation 180 here. I would say like people love to hate on. They love to hate on like big commercial beer breweries like Budweiser or whatever.
Right.
But I think as a beer drinker, perhaps the most hated light lager might be like a natural light. But CH, when's the last time you drank
College beer pong.
natural light at like peak heat of the summer at a cookout?
A natural light. That's the silver
Natural
one.
natty light.
It's
Dude.
been a while, but I've thrown up after the black cans after like 5 beers. Those are gnarly.
Oh, that's like the Beast.
Natty Dry.
Okay, never had that.
Yeah. You know how there's like a Keystone Light, which is like a Coors Light, and then there's a Keystone Red, like a premium,
Yep.
which is like Coors
Yeah.
Premium, and then there's a Keystone Black, which is like Coors doesn't have shit for this one. One's like the not the Old Reserve, or what was the old English country club stuff.
Yeah, you're talking about like natural like natural ice, right?
Natty Ice, the
Yeah,
black
Natty
one.
Ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played beer pong one night at college. I was trying to show off in front of these older guys. I think I like threw up kind of in the house, kind of made it out of the house, and I was like, I'm just going home. Like, I'm not going back inside. That was it. This is how this night's gonna work. This is exactly how this night's gonna work.
Man, I'm gonna go with you, Blue Moon. I would say. I mean, that's yeah.
Worst beer. Final
Yeah,
answer.
I mean, the most hated beer probably is like a Blue Moon, and that kind of hits at like what you're saying, man. It's like that's a beer that maybe it was great at some point.
Sure.
And not that it's a bad beer, but
I think it was popular at some point. I think it was like before it was all Budweiser was telling us in commercials you have to put an orange wedge in it. People were just doing that, and it was kind of a cool thing. It was a European style, and dive bars would actually have cut up oranges because there's not many orange slices to go in drinks, right? There's a lot of cherries, a lot of olives, but they were actually kind of incorporating it, and then Budweiser bought it, and it was like, okay, in my opinion, as soon as you get bought by Miller or Budweiser, you're not craft beer anymore. And then they were like pushing it down your throats. Craft beer, craft microbrewery, craft beer. And I think they got sued. I'm almost, at some point, a lot of these companies kind of get sued, like Kona or Corinne.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Blue Moon, final answer. The worst beer.
Yeah, I'll agree with you.
And it's a Belgian wit, you know, but I think a lot of beer has to do with credibility, and we've talked about this a lot.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about where stuff really comes from, and we've even talked about this through text that, you know, especially in the wine and the distilling industry, well, they all kind of come from a lot of places that are not their backyard.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. You know, it's kind of what you're talking about. Like people they don't like to be deceived. I mean, I'll just speak for myself. I don't, you know, I
nor do
don't,
I.
I like to, you know, get what I'm paying for. So if somebody is, you know, you go into, and a lot of people, they have no idea really what the ownership situation of craft beer is really like these days. And it's really, you know, even as someone who's like somewhat informed, it's you get fooled. So, you know, you can easily walk into any gas station around Asheville, for example, which has a pretty good beer selection, because we have a lot of breweries here. But you can walk into a gas station and just at first glance think, wow, man, this gas station has a lot of craft beer here, like a lot of, you know, really unique craft beer. But then you don't realize, well, it's Wicked Weed, not just Blue Moon, but like Wicked Weed, which is actually owned by AB InBev, like 10 Barrel, which
Yeah.
is an AB InBev. Elysian,
Yeah.
AB InBev.
Space dust.
Yeah, this like Space Dust is in every freaking gas station
Right.
around here, and there are tons of amazing local IPAs that I'm sure are just as good or better than that. But you know, they don't get the distribution. Like Goose Island, of course, like that's a big one that everybody knows. But now, like with the sale of Oscar Blues, which included them, Cigar City, a bunch of other breweries,
That was
to a bigger
Monster energy drink, right? Monster bought all that.
yeah, Monster. And then with the sale of New Belgium to a big company, I mean, there's like hardly anything left. You know,
I
you got
know.
in terms of yeah, like those brands, they take up so much shelf space in any given establishment. And you walk and you think, wow, man, these guys have done a really nice job of like hand selecting some really nice, you know, beers from smaller scale breweries, and that's just not the case.
I hear you. You got a question from Zach A, but can I answer it? Can I
Yeah,
answer it?
what is it? Go for it.
Top three breweries in Asheville. I'm gonna go with, and this is what when people from Knoxville, they love Asheville, but the diehard people that grew up in Knoxville said Asheville used to be better, and I know what they mean. There was just less people there. That's what everybody always says
Yeah,
about every
totally,
city.
yeah.
So
I
that
could
doesn't
vouch
really
for that.
mean anything because that's every city. That's San Diego.
Yeah.
That's LA. That's San Francisco. But everybody, it's kind of unanimous that Burial's number one, then Dissolver, and then probably Green Man, unless I'm wrong.
Yeah, when my
Burial-
favorite local
Burial for
brewery,
sure.
Burial, man, hands down. Yeah,
Burial for
totally.
sure. And they got great food.
Yeah, they have great food too.
Got
Yeah,
killer
Dissolvers, great brewery as well. Ross was just over today. For folks who aren't familiar with our channel, Ross is a guy who brews beer with us. He works at New Belgium actually, and yeah, man, he's just a dude who gets around town. And we were talking about like favorite establishments, and we both landed on Zebulon Brewing out in Weaverville, which is technically outside of Asheville. But Zebulon was the place I wanted to take you guys. It's just the guy's Mike Karnowski. He actually used to be the head brewer at Green Man. Split off, did his own thing. He wrote a book. I could grab it. How to brew beer better or something like that. It's actually for homebrewers, but he started a little brewery up in Weaverville. It's just a garage, man. It's a garage that him and his wife they run the tap room, and they're only open 2 days a week. I don't even think they have distribution. You
I'm
go
jealous.
in,
That's what I want to
you
do.
sit down, you drink a few pints, and then you walk out with like
Sounds like a
$75
winery.
worth of bottles.
Nice.
And
Roswell's.
yeah, dudes, that's a favorite as well.
That's awesome. Whoa. Super chat, Rob Barnes, $20. Do you think Sam Adams will ever be bought out? Thank you, Ron Barnes. Much love, you, Braj. Do I think Sam Adams will ever be bought out? I would say never. And I always thought that about Lagunitas. I thought they were family owned for life. And then I think Heineken owns half of them, which is still kind of bought out, not bought out. I think they're both family companies. I think Heineken and Lagunitas are both still family companies. But I don't know. Never say never.
Man, I just read a story this week about Brewdog. which like they're in the
Thank you,
news a
Ron
lot.
Barnes. They were in Stockholm a lot too. Maybe it was Berlin.
Oh,
I just
really?
got back from Europe, but I remember seeing BrewDog everywhere, and I don't get BrewDog. I just don't. They've got a YouTube channel where they buy subscribers. I've never seen them in America, and then I saw
They're
them.
here. Yeah, they're here.
I think I saw them. I saw them in Stockholm, and they were everywhere. Where are they from?
Here, Scotland, I think. And here's the secret. The secret of BrewDog is that they're funded by some like private equity group with deep pockets, man. I mean, these dudes. I don't know if they're just crushing it.
That's cool. Or if it's buying Instagram followers or YouTube followers.
Yeah, if they're just if they're just buying their way.
Fake but
man, they. I just saw a story that where they had they're opening like 45 locations in Africa or something like that. I mean, nuts. They're just crazy.
Okay. All right. We were talking on Sunday. The next big craft boom scene was in Japan. Ollie Oz from Austin, Texas was saying it's, I don't know if it has correlation to do with Sapporo. Sapporo, they're Asia, but they're not Japan, but they just bought Stone for dirt cheap. And he was saying the name of the game is to get the Stone-ish beers and bring them back to Asia. And he was talking about how the Japanese craft beer market is on a serious rise. And Vice just did a documentary on it. Or I don't know if they just did it, but there's a documentary on it.
Man,
so,
if I
don't know, man. I can't keep. There's so much beer. I thought beer was capped out. I think the newest trend is just get craft beer into different markets, which it's not a new trend for us, but I think that's kind of the name of the game for the people with the deep pockets.
Yeah, just how like far out can you send your tentacles and
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if this is still the case, but a few years ago, several years ago, a huge percentage of all the bourbon that was being sold in the US was going to China because they had, they're sort of in the middle of this. I guess they're in a period where, a lot of business happens there, and it's bigger. Their economy is bigger than ever. I guess their modern economy is bigger than ever, and so you have people there with money. I mean, they're like reaching a point where they have a significant number of people who have reached this like level of affluency that they're searching for these, like the finer things in life. And one of the things that they keyed in on was bourbon. And I had read.
Is that a new crowd? Is that because you'd figure Asian, you think more white wine, sake, plum wine? That's kind of another thing Ollie was talking about. Or has bourbon kind of already been nestled in there? Or is just
that I don't know. So it could have been in both. Like it could have been, that's something they had already been into, or it could be, somebody just figured out, hey man, there's a lot of people here with some money burning holes in their pockets. Let's ship some bourbon to China. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that'd be another example of, just like, how do you get out and distribute a product and grow your business?
Yeah, that's a lot because Stone, I don't know, because Stone, there was a lot of things going wrong, but they had to shut down tasting rooms in Shanghai. They had to shut down tasting rooms in Berlin. They had to shut down tasting rooms in Napa. Clearly, Napa's a weird one. Something is going on. And there's always kind of the COVID asterisk. But as you said, even in Asheville, nobody went out of business. Like if a place has love during COVID, they will get by. Unless they're really in like a development stage or they've just stretched everything way too thin. But Stone should have prevailed in Napa. That they should have prevailed. So
yeah,
what's up?
They had opened it like a pretty high profile tasting.
It was a 200-year-old historic building that they spent $1 million to revamp. And then my buddy lives right next door to it. My buddy just bought a townhouse up there and he would go there. And I think I followed them on Instagram for a little bit and the place looked really cool. But there was an ongoing dispute, and then when COVID hit, they said, well, there was even my buddy's breweries back in San Diego. There was some landlords that were cool, and there were some landlords that are like, that's not my problem. I want my money on the first of every month. Bottom line, like, hey, like sell beer to go, open up food trucks, whatever you have to do. is what you have to do, but you're under contract. Right.
Yeah.
So Stone had that thing going on with the city, and they were like, well, we're just not going to pay it, this and that. So there was a big lawsuit on top of that. So you're fighting COVID and the city's lawsuits. It's just like, fuck, man. This was not what we wanted to have happen. We got some super chats coming through here. We got 90 people in here, man. John Bell, thanks for becoming a member, man. Braj Army, we got Will has tipped $10. Cheers, CH and Kyle. Just spilled a full beer. Send help. Brewing bad. Thanks for the great conversation, CH and Kyle. Thanks to everybody who's been here. And Kyle, man, thank you for being here, man.
Yeah, man.
Can we talk about your next upcoming? Just Brewing has gifted 5 Braj Army memberships. Oh, I want to put something out here really fast. We're doing the last Drunken Mario Kart this Sunday night. And then after that, it's going to go over to Twitch. If there's one thing I've learned, actually, Lawson's Creek from Clawhammer taught me this. He said different social media platforms don't roll over. You know, you got to keep everything separate. And that's something I've definitely learned. So we're going to take that, and there'll probably only be 5 or 10 people that show up. It'll be me, Jorge, Alias, hopefully Gnome. Anybody else is welcome. We got to get a GoFundMe for Gnome to get a Nintendo Switch. But that was a lot of fun last Sunday. That was like the most fun I've ever had playing video games with people in probably a decade. So there's a link in the bio to the Twitch, and that'd be rad if I'll see you guys over there. It's a new platform, but it's pretty much what we're doing now. It's a stream. Everything we're on YouTube right now, YouTube ripped this off 110% from Twitch. So I think I can roll over it to pretty easily. So that's rad, man. I got a lot of love right now. Thanks for everybody for being on. Josephied was kicking some ass last time. I'll have the camera on the next time. Right on, man. Joe was there, Jorge in Puerto Rico, and Jorge's got a clawhammer system. I hope he's enjoying that down there. And I hope he's...
Sweet.
Are you getting this crazy weather? Did you get that thunderstorm last night?
Yeah.
I thought I was going to die.
Dude, I walked out my back door
it.
at the office here this afternoon.
Yeah.
It wasn't cloudy. I mean, there's like a little bit of overcast, but dude, huge crack of thunder. I mean, just like, dude, crazy. Nothing. No rain.
So hot in the daytime, and at night it's just like the jungle out here. And there's these Jurassic Park insects that just buzz around. It's crazy, man. I love the South. I love everywhere. It's kind of like what Aliaz was saying. Like, everybody who shits on a city that's never been to it is an idiot. You know, every city I've gone to, I've loved, except for Apple Valley and Hesperia in California. Don't ever end up in Apple Valley or Midland, Texas. What up, Betty Butler? Go over to Twitch for those Prime subs. I don't know what that means, but hopefully I know what that means soon. If you ever game from a hot tub, it's 1,000 Twitch viewers guaranteed. I have man boobs, so I'll have negative 1,000 Twitch viewers guaranteed. What up, Sir VC? What's up, you Braj? Kyle, you got one more beer in you? You going to hop water?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm not joking, man. I've been drinking since 1 today.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
What time's your flight?
It's not till Friday. It's like afternoon, evening.
What do you got going on tomorrow?
I'm just trying to get my life together before I leave, man.
Oh, okay. I thought you were catching a red eye. Oh, no. You got to get one more beer. You can do one more beer.
Yeah, I'm going to drink a little bit of hot water, then I'll probably finish off with the beer.
Okay, good. That works for me.
Yeah, dude.
I got to get better.
Yeah, so heading out to London. Going to hang out with the Craft Brewing Channel bros.
Is this the first time?
Yeah, man, we've Skyped.
Cool.
We've emailed back and forth. We've Skyped, but never met them in person. And they're gonna.
What's their names?
Johnny, Tommy, and Johnny. Yeah,
Tommy and Johnny.
Yeah, they're gonna take me around to the Cask beer brewery scene, pub scene in London. It's gonna be effing rad.
Is it just you, or are you cruising out there with Ross or Emmett?
Nope, it's just gonna be me.
All right.
Me and the craft beer bros.
Crazy timing, because I was just out there. I was in Sweden, Berlin, and Czech, and Apartment Brewer was out there for his wedding? Honeymoon?
Honeymoon.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to get the Clawhammer logo up there. This looks perfect. Beer on the left, brand on the right, man.
Yeah.
So what's going to be going on? Are you are you taking off for a week? Is there going to be a hiatus in content, or are you going to keep the cameras rolling?
Yeah, so I mean, we have some videos that are queued up and ready to go.
Cool.
Yeah, we're kind of trying to be on more of a weekly upload thing here with like shorter videos. So we have stuff
You got to get
coming down the pipe.
outtake channel. Content's content, man.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna be doing some filming when I'm out there. So gonna catch up with those dudes, and yeah, if there's anything y'all want me, if anybody has any suggestions,
Where to go?
on. Well, not to where to go because they're going to be leading the charge on that. But like,
True.
what should I, what would people want to know about the cask beer scene in London? What should I try and key in on and like learn about and then put in a video that people could watch?
Yeah, fire that up. And I don't think this is a stream we have to take down. Usually when me, Noam, and Alios are on here, it's like 4 hours. And 2 hours stream, that's it. It'll be up in the morning. And Kyle, check out the comments tomorrow. People will always have good recommendations. There'll always be some kind of, we got a Genus brewer in the house. Send me 1 cask of beer, please. Shout out to Peter for taking it down last Sunday. He was kicking everybody's ass. We thought Jorge Castro was good. And then Peter showed up, man. New sheriff in town. Come here. I suggest you donate a system to me. A Nintendo Switch? I should do a giveaway soon. Or a Clawhammer system. I don't think Kyle's in the market to give away a premier electric system, man. Yeah.
I'm not in charge of that. I just mainly sweep the floors here. You'd have to talk to Emmett.
Have you ever done a giveaway? Have you ever found success trying to like
we've given away stuff in the past. We haven't done it in a long time. We should probably look into that again. Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, do your thing. I mean, would it be to get Instagram followers, or would it be to, what you should do is what you talked about last time I was hanging out with you, and we talk about how even with Emmett, it takes so long for you guys to put out content because it's by far the most produced, and we talked about putting out a side channel for Clawhammer.
Sure,
and
yeah.
If you were to ever to do like a stream or an outtake thing or just a Q&A. Because the Q&As work. That Adam Makes Beer guy, I haven't caught one yet, but I've seen that he's uploading consistently. Any other channel, that'd be a good idea, I think, to do a giveaway for that. It could be a good way to get, maybe a few thousand subscribers, which could get that channel going.
Yeah, true.
I don't know.
That's true, man.
I generally don't know, but I think that sounds like something that could work out if it got tweaked a little bit.
Dude, I mean, I'd love to do. I'll enjoy coming on here and hanging out with you, man. This is super fun.
This is fun. Yeah. Is this funner than Brewlosophies?
I'm had a good time hanging out with.
Come on. No, I'm kidding.
You're not gonna get me, CH.
I'm doing it. I
had a good time, man.
But I heard that. It's a lot faster. It's kind of forced. And I didn't hear that from you, but I have heard that.
No. I mean. Yeah, no, it was good. It was chill, man. It was good. Emmett and I, a lot of people were on there were just kind of asking about like the history of the business, and it was kind of actually fun for Emmett and I to just like sit down and kind of recount how it all came together. But man, I'd love to do a live stream. It's just it's all we can do to just kind of put out a video a month, and we're trying to do these like shorter form videos every week, and we got this video coming up next week about Josh Weissman.
Ooh,
who I know you're familiar with him.
Yeah, I've taken everything I know out of his playbook.
Yeah,
J-Dub, I know him on a personal level.
Yeah, J-Dubs is okay. That's cool.
It would have been funny because he made that video and he botched it. He didn't botch it, and I do want to get Josh Weissman on. It's not going to happen, but he fucked that video up. But how funny would it have been if he was like, okay, today we're going to make a Blue Moon clone.
Yeah. Well,
today we're going to do 10 gallons of Shock Top on an extract in a glass carboy for 4 months.
All right. So here's the thing, man. Why do you think that he botched it. Why do you
Why
think
do I
that
think
Weissman
Josh
botched the video?
Okay, so I understand that Josh Weissman has a very successful cooking channel. There's no doubt about that. He's got great pace of video. He understands the algorithm, things that I'm beginning to learn now. But he's cooking, right? That's the Pacific Ocean, and he's a big thing. We make homebrew tutorials where it's almost a club because there's almost no viewership because we're so small, but that's what kind of makes it rad. So he's got this channel where he could pretty much do anything. It doesn't have to be homebrewing. He can make a video how to sew, how to change a bike tire, how to make spaghetti. He already probably makes spaghetti anyways. And he's going to get, hey, how to make a video game, how to mod a video game. And he's going to get ranked number one because he's got an army of fans that'll watch his videos all the way through. So its average view duration is going to smoke ours because he has so many more diehards than we do unique visitors.
Yeah.
The average person that stumbles across my channel isn't going to stick to the end. They're just not. So he gets that number one spot, but he shit the bed on all three aspects of that video. He's got an extraordinarily bad recipe. He does a Belgian and talks about how it's like a beginner's video. It's a beginner's recipe, which is not. The only thing more probably niche than that is making a smoked beer.
Yeah.
The method, I mean, you could just tell that he Googled the rest. He Googled everything that morning. And hey, I've been there. Like I've made cooking videos where we've Googled everything that morning. Like there's no doubt about it. And that's the power of YouTube is that you can edit this video and you can learn this stuff on the fly. So you sound really smart, but I've learned a ton of shit on the fly. And in the video, it looks like I know what I'm talking about because it's not a live stream. We could chop it up and edit it. If it was a live stream, people would all know that I'm bullshit and I'm full of shit. So I get that his video worked, but it's our jobs to keep people brewing. That's what we do. And if somebody comes in and they watch that video and they're like, damn, we got a glass carboy, which just gives me anxiety because he's got the siphon and he's waiting 2 weeks. And my biggest problem with it is he tries to be funny and he's not, which is very stupid for me to say because comedy's so subjective. He just reminds me of Cheese from Old School with that like know-it-all kind of shit-eating grin, that condescending, like, hey, today we're going to make this. Like, come on, I don't even like beer. Come on down, but I hate beer, but we'll make it anyway. You know what the problem with everybody is? It's their problem. They don't know how to make good beer. I was like, I just want to fucking line you up with like just one punch, but I can't, and I'm not. But at the end of the day, I don't know. It just sucks for people that actually know how to make beer. And times evolved. No one waits 2 weeks to ferment anymore. No one's going to make that style. It just sucks that he Googled all that shit that morning and he got all the shine for doing something I've done fucking 5 years out of my life. 7 years out of my life.
All right, so to be clear,
not angry, man. I'm not angry, man. Don't push me. No. Hey,
That was my main. So we made a video about this. So I've put a lot of thought into this recently. And the main point I was trying to make was, I mean, dude, as a video, just as a video on, I don't care what it was that he was making a video about. Like it was very well done from the shots were beautiful.
He's got the
production. And I'm being dead serious. It had a very good flow. It was really well done, man. And
what's up with all that yoga shit he does? What's that yoga shit where he's always moving his hands and like doing like this like casting spells shit? Did you catch that?
Yeah, I do. I recall like one scene.
He's always doing this shit that I don't know what's going on, but maybe he thinks it's cool or funny and it's just cringe. I don't know. But okay, the one thing that pissed you off.
The one thing that pissed me off
he has 3 million views on it and we don't?
Yeah.
Okay, part 2.
No, it's that, and this isn't really a criticism of him as much as it is a criticism of just like how videos get served on this platform. It's that, like there are people like you, and I'm not even going to put us in this category because we just like goofball dumb, we screw around. I don't consider us as like an actual educational resource, but like you and Martin and Brew Show and Genus and like all these people, like everybody. I mean, there are tons of people who like literally like they've dedicated a large, significant portion of their
No
lives
doubt.
to not just brewing beer, but brewing beer and showing people how to do it, but also like brewing beer. You know, like they're into brewing beer.
Josh is in
That's
here,
their
by the way, so
thing.
you better watch
And
your tongue, Kyle. Josh is
what
J-Dub is definitely in here, so take it easy on what you say.
um
I'm kidding.
so the thing that really like
Of course.
you know it the thing that I really can't stand about it is like that scene at the very beginning of the video where he's like,
I
yeah,
don't
I don't
like
even like beer.
I don't like
Like,
beer.
dude, if you would have just left that out, like I don't even know if we would be having this conversation right now.
Yeah.
But you know, I could have given him a pass and everything else. But I'm like, yo, man, there's so many people out there who love beer. They love brewing their own
Right.
beer, and they've made tons of awesome videos about like
Right.
how to brew beer. And this dude who doesn't even like beer brews this like really obscure recipe with kind of outdated equipment. And you know, does some like weird stuff. He doesn't tell people explicitly to turn off the heat when they're adding the malt extract. He doesn't even aerate the beer at all. You know, he's like, we got to use this yeast because the temp control, which is partially correct. I mean, there's tons of different yeast that you could use that would be like more mainstream. You know, he has
He's just
a
bullshitting. He's just full of
yeah,
shit.
and he's using.
I'm a
he-
bullshitter, so I can, you know, can't bullshit a bullshitter. I got the video, and he says two stupid things, and I'm with you 100% because that's like, hey, today we're gonna play today we're gonna do a long run of Super Mario, but I hate this game. You know, like today we're gonna cover Nirvana's Nevermind album, even though I fucking hate Nirvana. Let's just cover it. And you're like, why did you say that? You hate
Well,
beer.
I mean, today
you're-
I'm going to show you how to shred on the guitar, but I actually don't play guitar.
Yeah,
and I actually don't even like playing guitar.
Right. And then
That's going to be the number one resource for people who are wanting to learn how to play guitar.
brand
on YouTube.
new
Like, that to me is not right.
brand new to guitar. YouTube is one step down from Google. It's probably going to be even more powerful than Google one day. And people are looking at this and they're like, I'm going to brew French Saison beer. And he adds all the weird shit to it, right? Isn't there like coriander or like sage grass? Like the wackest recipe ever, man.
Yeah, some stuff I've never even heard of.
We got to get him a shock top tattoo ASAP. Get him a shock top on one bicep and a blue moon on the other one.
Man, Bluetooth shock top IPA.
Yeah, he can kiss my ass. But at the end of the video, he says something stupid. He's like, the problem with breweries is they brew beer for them. They don't care what the customer likes. So I'm like, that might be more true in Europe because I just got back from Europe and sometimes they just have two taps on that are two Pilsners and they're just like, that's it. But in America, no doubt about it, most tasting rooms have 10 different styles of beer on. I mean, there's kind of too many styles of beer at a lot of places to hold the lines up. So, dude, you have no idea what you're talking about on like all accords, like every angle. Like you're talking about this and that and this and this and that. It's all whack. So I'm definitely going to chop this video up and I'm going to make a thumbnail. And hey, more power to the guy. You know, he's got a great grind, more successful, but this is like the one thing that we had. This is like the one small little thing that we had, and he just fucking ate up all the traffic on it. So,
Yeah.
whatever.
Did somebody really chat? The biggest problem with our biggest problem with it is that he has 3 million views and we don't.
That's
Okay.
what I said. That's my joke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was
All
my
right.
joke, man.
There's a little bit of that too.
Yeah. We got a super chat from Alias, man. Glad Alias is in here. I got him on Snapchat too. I'll check that out in a second, man. He's the barrage, him and Noam. We've kind of been doing a consistent thing on this channel. But I wanted to say something, Kyle. Once, because I really think you guys need to set up a stream, and I don't think it's as difficult, especially not with you, because you have 4 guys that can kind of sub in, whether it's you. It'd be you, Emmett, or Kyle. I don't think Nathaniel or Law Dog would be too stoked on. I mean, maybe if they were with somebody side by side, but you guys should do a stream exactly how you're set up right now, like with the beer there, the climber thing there, and at least just do a Q&A with the chat. You don't have to write anything down. If you're running out of shit to say, have somebody on. And like, as far as this is going to be cringy, but as finances go, all the shit from Homebrew for Life is all topical aside from the ad revenue and the Amazon affiliate, right? Like we put out, it's like a band going on tour. Like people only really buy merch or support or donate or do all this membership stuff when you're live. People aren't just going to randomly do this. We get the ad revenue, which is nothing, but this is a good way to really like maybe grow a brand or support it. I mean, this is all what Twitch people do. They just do live streams. It's all topical. Yeah. You go to a concert, I go to a concert, whether it's the Rolling Stones or a local punk rock band, I'm going to buy a t-shirt right then and there. I'm not going to buy it a week later once I've gotten back to the real world and I'm, you know, sitting in this room rotting, you know. And once you set this up and I can help you through it, and I want to talk to Aliaz and Gnome, people with Streamlabs. I'm not the best guy, but I at least know how to do this. I can help you out with this.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'd be interested in it really just not from like a financial standpoint, but just like connecting with people. I mean, like I said, I really enjoy coming on here, doing this with you.
Well, I need money.
But yeah, I do get how like, money. What's that?
Everybody give me goddamn money. This is a stick up.
Dude, I will say this, man. I just commented in the chat the Homebrew for Life MTV logo. Dude, that's like one of my favorite shirts, man. I save it and I bust it out on like special occasions.
Hey, thank you for wearing that in the last video too, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. What's that?
You wore my t-shirt in the video before last, yeah. And
gotcha.
Party Time wore it recently too. So thanks to everybody, man, supporting the channel. You know, we're not the Josh Weissmans out there, so we need every ticket or sticker sale and membership and super chat that we can get, man. So this is cool and it's fun, and I'm glad everyone's still doing this. Because on paper, like, we shouldn't be here. As small as viewership as we get, there shouldn't be any homebrew channels that stuck around. There really shouldn't. It's like we were texting earlier. We're smaller than yo-yo channels.
Yeah.
That channel had like 500,000 subscribers. How many yo-yo tricks? Walk the dog, you know, the baby in the cradle bullshit.
Dude, yeah. Rubik's Cube channels, Lego channels. I guess Lego's pretty big.
No.
Rubik's Cube channels.
Are they killing it? We just got 5 more members, man. We got US MC Mike, man. Thanks for your service. I'll tell you what, when I get back from San Diego, I've got a Clawhammer video lined up with the chubby from Anvil, and I've got a lot of stuff written down, and I've never written shit down like this before. So it's going to be more bullshit than ever, man. And it's going to be in the most clickbait fucking thumbnail you will ever see. It's like me and CH and Jake Paul or Josh Weissman all fighting. Super Smash Bros. Nah, I'm just an idiot. We're kind of coming down to the wire. Kyle, can you do one more beer? It's 10:20.
I'll do a half pour with you, man.
All right.
Pour.
Do you ever do the chiller, the West Coast chiller, half hop water, half West Coast IPA?
You know, that's not a bad idea. I could do I'll try that with the Apartments for Life Hoppy Lager. Because here's the thing, man. Remember when we brewed that beer? We didn't do a 60-minute edition, and it has this really nice like hoppy kind of fruity vibe. But I kind of now wish that there was some bitterness. So this is fairly bitter hop water. Maybe I'll do a chiller with that.
Yeah, and I want to give you something. I don't know if you came up with it, but it was one of the funniest things I've ever heard. But you said it as a quip, but I think you need to play off it.
What's that?
You called it the Midwest IPA, half IPA, half New England IPA. But if you say it enough times, it becomes a thing, and I like the idea of that.
All right, man. Here we go. We're gonna chiller it up.
That's a chiller.
Chiller right here.
The Midwest IPA. The Midwest IPA.
This is what is it? What is the hop water on here? This is like.
All right, Kyle. I'm gonna rip a beer really fast.
Just say it. best work we've ever done.
Subscribe to Homebrew for life. But we're back. Kyle, hold it down. Oh, here comes the echo.
We're back.
Damn it. Okay.
Dang,
Hold it down.
dude.
10 more minutes, Kyle, then I'm going to let you leave.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, boy. CH, where'd you go? Did you leave? You leave me? I'm here by myself. What's up, everybody? What's going on? And my chat's froze. Sweet. There we go. Yeah, I gotta say, man, this chiller is pretty good. The bitterness of this hop water is kind of balancing out the not so bitterness of this beer that we brewed. What's going on, everybody? NBC is 100x better live. What's up, Will? What's going on, man? What is hop water? Man, that's a really good question. I don't know. The juries might still be out on that. We've been making, I mean, like hop water is really just hops and water, period. Maybe a little bit of like nutritional yeast is what I've heard people add to it for some like flavor. We've been making it with spent grains, so and naturally carbonating it. So it's like a little bit of alcohol in it, but I'm still calling it hop water. How's the fermentation keg coming along? Well, here, let me show you. Can we let's see here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this in the shot. I have prototype version number. I don't know what we're on right now, but it's a decent number down there. Can you see that? Boom. So, man, we probably have like 4 or 5 of these now, and still just refining it. We want to make it like we want it to be awesome. We want it to be kick ass, something that everybody's gonna be super stoked to have. So we're still like kind of refining the design.
95 people, Kyle. 95 people
yeah.
here. We're knocking on the door.
Sweet. But once the keg's done, man, you guys will be the first to know about it.
I got a question for you, unless you're...
Yep.
Have you ever slept at Clawhammer Supply?
No.
What?
I don't think so.
Can I crash there in September?
Yeah, totally.
Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm serious. If I'm by myself, can I sleep there?
Oh, totally. Yeah, didn't I offer it up to you the last time? I thought I did.
I don't remember.
Yeah, you definitely could. And you know what I'll do, man, before
You
then?
have a shower there.
I got a shower here, bathroom, everything you need. What I'll do before then is you've seen like the sleeping loft that I built up in my office. It's literally like a bed up there.
Yeah.
I'll put a mattress up there. I've been meaning to get one anyway. I'll get one and pop it up there. And then you'll have like an actual legit little area to be in.
You guys heard it here first. If I come out or if there's anybody involved, we'll get an Airbnb. But if I'm by myself, I can stay at Clawhammer? Because that trip will honestly cost me nothing then.
Yeah, no, you can definitely stay here for sure.
No, thanks, Barrage. No one's ever slept at Clawhammer? No.
I haven't slept here, but other people have definitely slept here.
Because it is a 3-bedroom house.
I mean, yeah, but
shower.
we have a futon in the living room, so that'd be like currently the only place you could sleep. So
That's where I'd sleep.
Yeah. You could sleep there, or I could hook that loft up as well.
Appreciate it, Barrage.
But
we got Chris Vodka here
dude.
too, man. That'd be rad. No, because that would save me a lot of money. I think you threw it out there last time, and I went with something else. I think I'm very bad with emails. I know when you want to make something official, you're an email guy. I'm a text message guy.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of it just kind of goes through whatever over my head. But I had a nightmare last time staying above somebody's house, and it was like 100 degrees, and I had to have the AC on, but the AC was like louder than a fucking V8 engine the whole night. And I stayed up all night the first night. That's why I was such a pile of shit when we shot with Steve. And I was like, yo, Steve, like, this is your first time here, man. Like, just say, you talk. I'm going to sleep in the van. Next thing you know, Lawson's filming me sleeping. I mean, a couple cat naps here and there.
Right.
Yeah. All right, man. Are we gonna break 100 before Kyle gets out of here?
Come
It's
on.
10:27.
Did everybody call your friends? Call your mom?
It's 10:27, man. It's been a minute. CH Bra Space at Clawhammer. And I'll say it before, I'll say it again. I don't know if Kyle cares how much tourism comes into Asheville. He probably doesn't like it. Well, I don't know. There's people with Airbnbs and stuff like that, but Asheville is the best beer city that I've been to in America, and I've only, out of like the 10 that I've been to, I'm going to Austin in about a month with Aliaz and Nome and Just and maybe Sunset and maybe East and the Beast. I've been to Portland. I've been to a lot, and I think Asheville's the best. I don't know if you want people knowing that or if you don't want people knowing that.
And I don't care. Yeah, come on over.
You don't care if the secret's out? Are you a part-time investor in a barista coffee shop or a brewery? Or?
No, man.
No?
No. You know, I mean, I tell you what, it does get a little bit old, you know, like the traffic and stuff around here, but we have so, like,
traffic.
You know, I didn't even make it out to bars.
You come to San Diego or LA for a week, man. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, what are you saying, though? It's just getting more populated.
I mean, you know, like just take today, for example.
101! 101, Kyle. We got it. We got 100 people here.
Nice.
This is the third time this has happened. Me, you, Short-Circuited, and Martin Homebrew Challenge.
Dude, I just fired up 6 of my dormant accounts, and I just logged them all in at once.
That's what you did? I'll buy 10 memberships for those, too. What's up, Dad? Papa? I'll see you soon. I'll see you in a week.
All right, here's what I'm going to do.
I'm going to give my dad a quick little shout out. My dad retired yesterday. He worked for a company for 40 years, and now he's going to get to enjoy the golden years. Cheers, Pops. I love you, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man, these 10 people that just popped in.
What happened?
Congrats, bros.
Let's kick the shit out of them, man. Dude, you did it again.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Can anybody here buy a Clawhammer system? Through my affiliate marketing
Don't worry about it.
Clawhammer.com/ch. Kyle, thank you, man.
So, man, I'll tell you what, I don't even get out to, I don't get out to breweries nearly as much as I used to, just because like today, for example, I was brewing beer all day, and then that consists of typically me drinking some beer too. So, you know, I like at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm not like, oh man, I need to decompress with some beer. I'm like, yo, I need to drink some water and take a nap.
I'm with you 100%. When I first got to Knoxville, the first week, the first month, I went out everywhere. I don't do anything now. I've got one dive bar, and I'm more of a place where like I just want to hang out with a bartender that I like or an ambiance. Like I don't really give a fuck about a brand new IPA at a local brewery. I really don't. I'd rather just shoot the shit with the bartender that, you know, we like the same music and same horror movies and stuff like that. I don't do anything anymore. I'm already a recluse.
Yeah.
At 37 years old, single dude. I don't do anything anymore except rot and try to make myself look cool on the internet. Chop up videos on Final Cut Pro. Sometimes it works. Nice. Most of the times it doesn't. Yeah. Wow. Thanks, son. Thank you, Pops.
Wow.
You raised a barrage. Kevin Banneker was gifted a membership by Clawhammer Supply. Oh, and happy birthday to Reenie out there. Irene Ramey, happy birthday. My dad's girlfriend. While we're here, we got 100 people here. Lynn is on her way to the recluse. Todd Porter. It's inappropriate. Name dropper. Punk ass. Does Clawhammer work like Columbia House? 240-volt system will be my next system. You got anything to say about that? Any recommendations on the 240 system versus the 120, Kyle?
Dude, here's the thing. Martin, I don't think would have been able to do his 99 beer challenge without a 240-volt brew system. I mean, he never used a 120
he talked
for
about
any
that
of his for any of his brew days. And it's just the reason is like the 240. It's literally, I mean, it's 3 times more powerful than a 120, and I'm not joking when I say that
he does have to batch.
You could use the heating element to heat a large freaking hot tub, like a large hot tub, like an 8-person hot tub. You could use our controller to heat that thing. So, yeah, I mean, it's like Yeah, 240. That those are my thoughts, CH. That's what I
Well,
think about that.
well, what?
It rips, man. It rips through, heat up times and boils and stuff.
Let's take it one step further. What is an actual jacuzzi runoff? Like two of the 240s?
Yeah, so you could heat up a very small hot tub with 120 power, I believe. Like it'd have to be very, very small though. And you're only breaking, it's not gonna be very hot. It's gonna be, like low temp.
95.
Yeah, but
What's
yeah,
a
just
good what's a good hot tub? Like 102?
240 volt circuit, 5500, watts.
Yeah.
That yeah, just
Duly
one of
noted.
those.
Duly noted.
Like 8-person.
And Martin was on a little bit ago, and he was saying, because I don't know how it works in Asheville, but there's no propane where I'm at, which kind of sucks because the only thing that's more expensive than in Knoxville is my bills because everything's electricity. Everything's electricity.
Yeah, sure.
Natural gas is way cheaper than electricity. So I could probably do a 240 here. We were trying to kind of figure that out when Martin was on about a month ago. But if you're just doing 5-gallon batches and when you're setting up, I've got tripods and I'm worrying about SD cards and batteries recharging. There's going to be a day where Homebrew for Life brews again. It's we took a little half-year recess, but one day I'll and it's kind of weird too. Like Kyle, do you ever look back at your own videos for notes? Be like, okay, I once knew that, because I'm at the age where I don't remember things the way that I used to. I've said this before. It's like
tell me about it.
It's like a PlayStation 5 memory card. If something comes in, something goes out.
Yeah.
Something comes in, they're like, hey, remember that time in Christmas in '94 when you got like the Super Nintendo? I'm like, no. There's only so much things you can remember, and I have to go back to my old videos to kind of like, oh shit. Do you ever do that to reteach yourself?
No, I mean maybe I should, man. It's leaving at a pretty good pace right now these days.
Yeah, like it's like mental online notes. Thanks for YouTube, because I do write all this shit down. I write every Kyle, you want to see it? You want to see how it's done?
Yeah. Oh, I mean I've seen a little bit of it. Yeah, you sent me some gave me a behind the scenes peek at some notes not too long ago, but sure.
And I'm going to start keeping these too, because I used to throw these away, but I feel like when I fill out like this, whatever little, it's like something a little kid in junior high would write in, like a 80-page or 100-page notebook. But like when I fill one up, I'm like, oh, okay. And it's kind of like weird mad scientist, young Frankenstein. Like there's some probably spit, some beer stain, some dipper, chew spit or something. But I'm going to start holding on to these, man. But
you should.
Yeah. Dude, we're almost up to 110 people, man. I don't know if Kyle's going everywhere. I thought he had a red eye to London tomorrow, but that ain't till Friday. Plot twist. One more? One more?
I'll make good on my half-pour promise. I'll do that. I'll finish this chiller. Chiller's pretty good, man. Hop water and beer.
It's watered down beer. So what are you really drinking?
Beer.
Something like 2.5%, maybe 3%?
Yeah. Well, because
Do
the
the
hop
math.
water actually is at least 0.5%, and then what was the beer that we brewed? 5% or something. It's 5%. So yeah, probably 2.5%, I guess.
This is what I'm doing, man. I just do the Yinglings and the Modelo's. You can drink this like it's water fountain.
Can you make top ramen in the clawhammer system? I don't see why not.
Well,
I do not see why not.
that was kind of my question. It was about the whole sous vide thing and claw hammer,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't really have good presentation, because you'd want that, like if you watch the top sous vide videos, they all have that plastic. Hey, my dad just became a member, man.
Sweet.
Pop's gonna borrow some cash too. Pops was gifted a membership by Clawhammer Supply. Yeah,
What is he? Hell yeah.
there's no way he would know how to do that, man. But what were we talking about? Oh, the sous vide videos online. It's always in a clear thing because it's the best visual. It'd be tough to do, and I've thought about this with the stainless steel container, but you'd have to take one of your, like an underwater GoPro, and maybe put it on the bottom upside down, but that'd still be kind of weird. Like the shot of like all the water looking up. I don't know. But that would be a good one, Kyle. If you did some form of community thing, like, hey, who can make the best steak on our system? You would imagine like some type of food, but I think the steak would be the most probably like the best common denominator.
Yeah. You know what I would love to do, man?
I think
Is
that'd be a good
actually
idea.
have like a homebrew competition instead of having people send me ramen. Maybe just let them send me beer.
But it would be tough for you. But it would be tough for you to judge that because that goes back to just like beer snobby stuff. Like you can't. How do you put a first, second, or third place tag on that? You take their word for it.
uh,
Whoever super chats you the most, whoever buys the most systems that day.
yeah, I mean, here's the thing, man.
Starting to sound
This
like
is
Gavin Newsom. Whoops,
Here's the
said it
thing,
too
kid.
soon.
This
What
is how
happened?
the world works.
Here's how the world
Um,
works, man. You scratch mine, I scratch
Dude,
yours.
here's a thing I just learned. Back to the legalities thing that we were talking about earlier.
About beer distilling.
Something when I was looking into the laws, like the North Carolina laws, making the Homebrew Challenge video about how much beer can you brew in North Carolina or whatever.
Yeah.
One of the things I read was about how in North Carolina, if you have a homebrew competition, you can only do so if at least 50% of the judges are certified beer judges.
Which still
Certi-
has no credibility.
Well, so here's the thing. You have to be certified by like a certifying body, and they listed a couple, maybe like three. One of them was,
But
yeah, I don't know what it was, but I don't know which. All the three of them, I don't know what they were. But here's the thing, man: the people who pushed the legislation through in North Carolina, because this was a recent amendment to the laws. It was the National Homebrewers Association, and that was surprise one of the options for getting certified to become a beer judge. So they're basically like, yeah, we're gonna help the people out in North Carolina by loosening up the laws a little bit, but they get paid for this.
okay.
Basically, there's like, you know,
And you know what? I
the
digress. I'm wrong because I do know that I used to say a lot of stuff like this, but I know that the people that do GABF, which is the biggest beer competition, I believe, in the world. I mean, we don't really know what goes on in Munich or how serious they take their Oktoberfest stuffs, but their judges are like, they can't drink, they can't eat food, no one's allowed to smoke a cigarette. It's as good as it gets. So for me, that is credibility. So if you have these types of people, in my opinion, they're the best beer judges in America. And I don't even think that they can swallow. I think they have to spit it out.
sure,
Because sooner or later, especially with IPAs,
yeah, you get hammered, and
not only that,
I
but like
mean,
think about wine. Like how acidic is wine? People that do red wine and tell the difference between that. It's like because I used to work at a tasting room, and when people would come in after their third glass of wine or their third red flight, you could say anything, and they're fucking fried, they're loopy, they're having a good time, they're spending their husband's money. As long as you throw them a couple jokes or a couple smiles or hit them with some bullshit, that wine tastes good.
right.
Their palate is fried. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Man, if we were gonna do a homebrew competition, here's the thing, dude. I was just on. I just did like a can you tell the difference thing with Martin when I was out in Raleigh, and
Sounds like
he served me like blind taste tests. It was a New Belgium, like one of their light lager beers in a Bud Light, and dude, and I got stumped, man. I picked the wrong one.
With Bud
So am
Light,
I a beer?
it's
Do I have the
tough.
chops to be a legit beer judge? Hell no. But it would be
No.
fun. It'd be super fun.
Yeah, but that wasn't your first beer. Nobody.
Well, that's true. I'd been drinking for a minute at that point.
Story checks out. Yeah, you don't just go straight into you don't go straight into drinking beer as a beer judge with your friends. That means you're already annihilated. The people that do get paid at GBF, they do go into drinking beer. And not only that, but that's a great video. There was a dude like 7 years ago that just drank all of the country club shit, the whatever they 7-Eleven sold back in the day, and they just did a blind taste contest. And that's why I always love blind taste contests, because people swear by alcohol. I've won so many bets, and by so many bets, it's probably like 4. And people can say that they can tell a difference between Stella Artois and Mickey's, and I've won every single time. Every single time. Put it in the triangular one so it's not 50-50, because 50-50 is just 50-50. It's a coin flip. You don't know shit. You guess wrong, you guess right.
Right.
But if you put it in the triangular one, where 2 is 1 and 1's the other, no one's ever gotten it right. It's the same beer. It just goes back to what we always talk about with marketing and alcohol. And I mean, marketing outweighs alcoholic products so far, it's out of control. I mean, you could say that about clothes. Everything comes from China and everything. Is it really $1,000 t-shirt out there? It's like, yeah, there is. Why? Because perception is reality.
Yeah.
Street cred is everything. It all comes from MGP, or what's it called? Indiana?
MGP.
Yeah. But hey, man, I'll wear the cool kids' clothes and drink the cool kid shit, so nobody fucks with me. People think I'm cool. I mean, I ain't showing up to a high school reunion pugging 40s. I probably will, but you shouldn't. Yeah, I could probably get away with it.
Speaking of cool kid beer, I'm gonna go get myself a Midwestern IPA from Keyser in the back.
Cheer him on. All right,
This
we got
is my half
95
pour,
people
man.
in here. Okay, one more beer. Chris Vodka. Yeast in the Barrage. Do one more blind taste videos. Austin, you're onto something. I want to do blind taste videos with my own homebrew. Because, again, I was talking to my buddy the other night, and this is the best feeling you'll ever get as a homebrewer when you go into a place and you drink whatever, their West Coast IPA or their sour or their brown ale, and you try it, and and you can't say it. Obviously you don't talk about it, but that, like, my homebrew is better than this. It's the best feeling in the world. So I want to kind of start doing that when I do grain to glass videos. Like, hey, we'll make a West Coast IPA. There's new hop out there, something from New Zealand, Motueka, even though it's not really that new anymore. And we'll try it with who's ever got the hottest one in town. And the name of the game is that hopefully people cannot tell the difference. And that's like the best compliment as a home brewer is when your shit tastes like the stuff that they sell. I got that Mickey's for Stella easy money, man. I'll bet you $100, Bradford. I would bet you $100 that you could not tell the difference between Mickey's and Stella. And I will bet the owner of Mickey's that, or the owner of Stella that. Have I ever made a black IPA? Yeah, and I didn't like it. Some batches of beer you just don't make 5 gallons of. It's just a really bad thing to do. And that's a good thing that Martin did, Kyle. He doesn't have his headphones on. Like, everyone thinks you need to make a 5-gallon batch, but once you're kind of comfortable, because beer is all about just scaling up and scaling down. Like, don't make a 5-gallon batch of a Belgian or a smoky beer or a black IPA. I got to use the restroom. I broke the seal. Kyle, can you hold it down? Keep my dad entertained.
Yo, what's
Take
up,
your shirt off.
Mr. Hardy?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, man. All right, guys, hold on. I'm trying to find a recipe here that am I gonna be able to find this here? What is going on? West Coast IPA. Oh man, I feel like I straight up made a beer. And then I didn't save the recipe. You got to be kidding me. Man. All right. Back to the chat. Y'all ever do that? Make a recipe in Beersmith and then like not save it? I'm really good at that for some reason. Yo, what up? James. Favorite beer that I've bought. You know what I'm really into recently? Is gosh man, it's like this rice lager. Man, what is the name of this? I can't even tell you what the name of it. Another really nice beer I had recently was like a chamomile saison. you know, sometimes you gotta get fancy.
I got something for you, Kyle. We're
Yeah,
back to 90. My dad's brother, my uncle Fred. My dad's got four brothers. I'm sorry, there's four
gotcha.
brothers total. Did you watch my Asheville video? Because he's got
Oh yeah, I did.
he's got he's got a big still.
Got it.
It's a claw hammer system.
Yeah,
Did you catch that in the video?
I did. Yeah, he makes some nice fuel alcohol and
Essential
essential
oils
oils.
yeah. He makes some nice distilled water that he sells at farmers markets, and half of all income he donates to church, and the other half is charity. So we're all in this together.
Dude, I like it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was a
S-
big system. It was a really big system. It was maybe like 5 or 6 feet tall. You remember that one? He's probably had it for about I don't know, at least 5 years.
yeah. That
Well,
sounds like a pretty big still, man. 6 feet tall.
it
I mean, that's a
is.
big boy.
Or maybe he's just maybe got some of your parts, but I've been to his house, and maybe he might have maybe your 240 thing or something. But he's definitely got something that says clawhammer. And Dad, talk about this with Fred. That ask him about his what he has, because there's no doubt about it. I've seen clawhammer in the garage, but I don't. Maybe it's not. It's just a couple parts, because his is pretty big. I don't think he. I don't know. We'll get to the bottom of this. Yeah, Uncle Fred. Mm-hmm. That's how small the world is, man. This is a small world.
Small whale, dude.
FBI, ATF, TTB. What's the weird thing? Why does alcohol not have to have? Why does beer not have nutritional facts on it? Because beer got grandfathered in from something from Prohibition. Because I know the ATF and the TTB kind of compete for legalities, but for whatever reason, we have to put nutritional facts on water, but not beer. How does beer get a loophole when some of these hazy IPAs are 300 calories per 12 ounce fluid ounces? Because that's
Man,
what's that?
I'm wondering if it's just because it's not considered food. You know, if it's just like because it is
What do you mean?
like,
We have to put it on Mountain Dews. We have to put it on bread. We have to put it on everything. How come beer gets a pass?
well, I mean, well, like bread would be considered food, right? But
Yeah,
like
but
beer, like,
what about water?
you have to put in, well, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's weird,
I'm
right?
not, yeah,
That's a
I
good
don't know.
one.
I don't know.
Because they have a huge loophole. They have a huge loophole. Because if you were going up, you're like, oh, that's my favorite beer. And you look on the back, you're like, fuck, man, that milkshake IPA is 400 calories.
Yeah,
Because they made it.
it's
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
Well, let's think about
that
this,
is true.
because they made fast food do that. You know, like you go to Starbucks, you get the multi cappuccino, frappuccino bullshit. It's 500 calories. Starbucks probably thought that was going to be the end of it. But maybe people don't give a shit. I mean, this is America. We'll eat whatever we want. We don't give a shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's a really good point, man.
That's a good
That is
question.
a really good point. I do. Are
Coffee,
calories?
Starbucks has to label calories, but milkshake IPAs with lactose that make you shit your pants at the brewery don't? I don't know.
Are you lactose intolerant, dude?
I think the older I get, yeah. I just growing up, everything's cheese and glass of milk at the dinner table. I think we just had high immunities to it, but I don't know. Beer is such a weird one. It gets this weird. That's what it is. Aliaz is right. It's not regulated by the FDA. It's exempt from prohibition. It's like the one thing that doesn't get regulated.
Dude.
That's so weird. Thanks, Aliaz. All right. Any last questions for Kyle? Coming down to the wire.
DH, I brewed this beer. I'm trying to find the recipe. I cannot find it, but I'm gonna say this is a good contender right here for a Midwest IPA. After I put that in a video,
I think it's going to sell.
all kinds of people chimed in and they're like, "Oh man, Midwest IPA. People have been making that forever, here, there, and wherever." But this is like it has a West Coast bitterness with some like old school kind of '90s hops. but I used an American Ale strain, which is kind of dry, but it has some haze to it, and I did a ton of late additions. Oh, you know what I did recently, man? This is really cool. I think I mentioned this before. I'm not sure anybody was really even interested in it, but it was there's this stuff called Phantasm. It's like this powder that people are putting in beers to like boost the aromatics. I put some of that in here, also some hop oil, and man, this is kick ass right here. West Coast.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Midwest IPA. I'm gonna
Midwest
say
IPA.
that's what this is. Midwest IPA.
2 quick questions. If we were to come
Yo.
up with a beer trend right now, what would it be? Elevator speech, 10-second mix.
I mean, you just heard it, man. Midwest IPA right here. Right
Okay,
here,
with
baby.
the
This is
aromatics.
it.
All right, if you could have dinner with anybody, past or present, or fictional character, who would it be? I used to say this when I did a podcast called the Barrage Cast, and I would always sign off with everybody. I got everybody from Frank Zappa to Hitler to Malcolm X to fictional characters from Japanese video games.
I mean, it would be.
Short-circuited Brian said his great-grandfather he never even met. Dinner,
Oh, man.
one person, who do you take? You got 2 minutes.
I got 2 minutes. I mean,
I'll give you
CH,
5.
dude. Give me 5. I need less, man. It'd be you. It'd be you, bud. Come on
I
over
highly
to
doubt
Asheville.
that. I'll show up at your
Let's
house in
hang
2
out.
hours. You've already seen my What About Bob clips, man. You're Richard Dreyfuss. I'm
Playing
Bill
with
Murray.
fire here.
You even told me we still got the same batch of beer on there, man.
Dude, I was scrolling through my phone trying to find a picture of this recipe, and I just stumbled on a screenshot of you with your headphones on and your shirt off.
Oh, that was
Which
when
I took.
Oh, we talked about that. How you got to turn your AC all the way down
Yeah.
and then start filming, so your microphones don't get picked up by the generator.
The funny thing is, I was
Party
like,
time. Party time.
at a
brews.
bar or something, and I was watching that video. I was just like hanging out, and
Halfway through.
I just realized I'm like I've been staring at a dude with his shirt off for like the last 5 minutes here at this bar.
I told you about that last time. So I want, because it's the South, and I always want to wear the barrage vest. And I started with that, and I had a black T-shirt on underneath. And I don't even I think I'm not that fat or gross, but I just sweat in my house. I understand that when I go outside, I sweat. This is the South; it's humid, even though this is like not bad humid. So I hear. But I started with that, and I took the jacket off, and then like halfway through the video, you could, and I told you, I was squirming in that video, and I was like looking down a lot, and I was having a hard time making eye contact. And you were like, dude, you need to kill your AC. I'm sorry, you need to bring your AC down to like 65, kill it, and then just kind of like film right then and there. I was like, damn, that's a power move.
Yeah,
That was great advice that you told me.
that's funny, man.
Good right now. I keep it at 73. All right. Living, dead, past, present, fictional character. Favorite beer spot, favorite gastropub. Who is it with and why?
I mean, gosh, how do you even start to answer that question? I wouldn't go
just
like
answer
I'd
it.
sit down with Jesus, or I'd sit down with, you know what I mean, Michelangelo or something. It'd probably be somebody.
Donnie said Jesus. Donnie would say Jesus.
I mean, I'm not a big Jesus guy. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Somebody said Hitler. Everybody was like, why sit down with Hitler and be like, where the fuck did it go wrong, man? Like, where in your life did you get so angry? Like, let's start there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong answer.
I mean, it'd probably be like, it'd probably be the dude from The Big Lebowski.
Okay.
I mean, why not?
Why not?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fictional. We'd go. I mean, I would go bowling, as I fucking love bowling.
Right.
Legitimately, I love bowling, and I'm pretty good at bowling.
White
I'm
Russians?
from Ohio. And we drink White Russians and we bowl. That's
Shit your
exactly what I
pants?
would do.
Lactose
Yeah.
intolerance. There we go. The Jesus, and then you get to bowl against the real Jesus.
I feel like
What's the guy's name?
Yeah.
John Turturro.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I might have even told the story on here before, but I was in a brewers
All he does.
craft beer brewing league, bowling league with Ross. This is one of the first things I did with Ross ever. Because him and his lady were in a league, and there was like a 3-person team, and he was telling me about this. I was like, yo, dude, I'm actually really good at bowling, and I just found this bowling ball that I had like as a kid when I was like 14, and I just took it down to the bowling alley, and like they completely like like polished it up and everything for me, and I've been bowling a couple times recently, and I think I still got it, man. Do you need another teammate? And he's like, hell yeah, you can be on our team. And so they let me join their team. Here's the thing: they had to make a rule that outsiders can't be in this league anymore because I crushed it. Did I tell this story already? I think I did.
No, we've never talked about bowling on here.
I would go bowling with the Big Lebowski
Okay, that's
with the dude.
I like that. That's a perfect answer. There's no bad answer to this, but that's no one said that before. And anybody who knows, I put out like 20 Spotify things, and I always entered on that, man. So that's cool, man. Anything you want to promote while you're here? Check out. Is there anything new upcoming? I know you want to open up the distillery, and we're any the fermenter, any new product or.
Man, we have a video coming out on Monday. It's going to be all about Josh Weissman and how much I love him. And I made that one for you. I'm
sucking all over his titties in the video. I got my T-shirt off. Yeah, I'm playing with him.
It's coming out Monday morning. We're trying this new weekly upload thing, so it'll be out Monday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time.
All right,
Check
everybody. Shout out to Paul Hardy for doing 33 years at Remick Cobham, raising me. Imagine that. Imagine that.
What was tougher, 33 years at wherever he worked or 18
Woo!
years? I don't know.
I'll make you proud one day, Pops. It's not going to be tonight. But I'll see anybody in here from San Diego in a week on the 23rd. I'm doing Nashville party, LAX, San Diego for 10 days, man. All right, Kyle, thanks for your time, man. Is that it?
Yeah, bud.
You good to go?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's get out of here.
Everybody have a good night. That was it. That was 2 hours. That was perfect. Thank you, guys. Cheers to next time. Cheers.